holding for? All right, yes.
Hold the line. Hold the line.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Feedback Fridays with Real Estate Investing Made Easy, and that's exactly what we were doing behind the scenes with a special guest, Andrew Castine. What are we holding for is echoing in my face here, so I muted that. We're talking about a deal right now. Are we going to lock up a deal? Are we about to lock up a deal?
Depends
so.
on how solid Andrew feels in his closing ability.
It does. Are you able to put him on speakerphone, Andrew, and talk to him right now?
Oh, we want to go after it now. Let's go. Let's go.
I want to go after
Come
it now.
on,
really
That's
ready
the point
for
of
it,
Feedback
but I
Friday,
think
bro.
so.
We're giving feedback and also
You're
just
live.
All right, let me see how I want to do this.
You are live. Live on YouTube.
You won't. Your sound comes through my headphones, so
you can unplug it and then usually.
no, like my phone is not connected to my headphones because I'm plugged in.
Yeah, you don't want him to hear us.
Right.
That's a very fair statement. You're absolutely right. Got a lot going on here, hosting. Okay. Let's do it.
See.
Andrew, tell some
5-year. Okay, so guy put this deal on Facebook. He recently bought the property 18 months ago. It was in pretty decent shape when he bought it. It is he's had to do some renovations, and he wants to sell. He's looking at selling it off market. He's a realtor himself. He was asking $150 for it, so I had him on the phone yesterday. We were talking through it, and I'm seeing comps in like the 125, 130 range. So I kind of anchored him in there with that being kind of the market value. He said he was looking for 150 kind of from that 1% rule, but the property wasn't renting at the 1% rule. So I kind of shot that down. He bought it traditionally with a mortgage, 25% down. So he's 18 months into a 30-year. Rents are $1,400. PITI is about $650. So it's solid cash flow. He's had a couple of oopsies over the last 18 months, had to replace the sewer line, a furnace, a water heater. So those are good capital improvements that we won't have to worry about going forward. That's pretty much it. I did the discovery call yesterday. I wanted to run the numbers to verify with what would make sense deal wise. And that's what we were doing before going live.
I love it. Thank you for that. Let's do it.
Okay. Probably have to pop my phone out of this case so it doesn't echo.
You're just going to channel Chris closes your deal.
Yeah, gotta. These kids, man, you gotta get a waterproof case. So
I understand. 100%.
I'm here. I'm listening. I just got to change a diaper real quick, and then I'll be giving you notes along the way.
While Andrew puts you out of a job, at least as it relates to him, because he's leveled up his game now and he's about to crush it.
Let's go.
I can hear everything. All right.
Castine closes.
Hello, this is Seth.
Hey, Seth, it's Andrew. How's it going?
Hey, Andrew. Good. How are you doing?
Good, man. Just wanted to catch back up and see if we could find something that makes sense on Myrtle. You got a couple minutes?
Yeah. Just a heads up, I do have bad phone service, so if I cut out, that's why.
Okay. Just let me know if you lose me or can't hear me or miss something.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you were giving me some info yesterday. You'd mentioned got a mortgage, open to some creative, looking for 20K, ready to close, tenants in place month to month. Anything I'm missing on the details there?
That sounds all about right.
Okay. So, this is what I'm thinking. I think this is something we can definitely do, and we can probably get it closed within kind of just as quickly as we can get all through the transaction coordinated with title and everything like that. You know, we can do the 20K that you're looking for up front now, and then we'll do subject to take over that mortgage for you. And then we intentionally use a transaction consultant that makes sure we have all the paperwork in place, so you're safe, we're safe, and nobody's left with incomplete paperwork years down the line. So you know, we talked about a 130 value. What we're thinking for on terms is the 20K now, and then a balloon payment on the remainder between the 130 minus the 20K minus your mortgage balance, and that balloon will execute in 5 years.
Okay.
And then we'll cover all the closing costs of the transaction.
Okay. That all makes sense. Can I give you my email address?
Yeah.
Just to like, and if you could like send me over those numbers, that would be helpful.
Okay.
I do co-own this, so I'd have to run it past my other investor as well. And see what he thinks. But yeah.
So are they on the title also, or is it just you?
They're also on the title.
Gotcha. So are you both on the mortgage?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Is it your wife?
No, it's my dad.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay. Okay, yeah, I can put this all on paper. I can draft up a contract for you. When do you want to reconnect to make a decision? Because I do have a couple offers I'm waiting to hear on, so I just want to make sure that I'm committing funds to you for the offer that we're extending.
Okay, I got you. What about like Monday?
Yeah.
Reconnect on Monday.
You like morning or afternoon?
How about afternoon?
Okay. I'm free up until 3 when I pick my son up from school, so I could do like I got a 12:30 or a 2 right now. Any preference? Oh, did you lose me? Okay. Still there. Hello.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Nope. Never mind. Lost them.
Oh, are you calling him back?
Yeah, just real
Good.
quick. Gotta get
What
that.
don't you like about that?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry.
Hey, no worries. Gotcha. Yeah, so for Monday, I have 12:30 or 2. Any preference? Say it again. Ooh, Seth, let me try Facebook. See if that works.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm gonna have to kick you off. Oh, you said 12:30 would be good. Damn. Yeah, I always forget that. What don't you like about that?
Well,
Damn.
we're just keep your eyes on the chat, right? Because that's where we're sending some of this stuff.
Oh, I was not looking at that at all.
Yeah. And also, just so you know, when we're live and stuff, when he dictates the email, just so nobody out there does it, just mute yourself while he's saying the email address. Just so it's not out there.
Yeah,
Because then he gets a bunch of
0%.
spam. Yeah.
No. You didn't say 0%.
Okay.
I was saying this was before you got into that, even got on the call.
Right.
Yeah.
Just focusing on the not the 0% or interest rate at all.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
Good
the way you
content.
the way you laid it out was actually perfect, right? It was like, yeah, we're going to get you exactly what you want, the 20K up front, the 130 that we position the value at, and then the difference between the 130, the mortgage balance, and the 20K will be a balloon payment. We'll get you in at the end of 5 years. It was gold. But I would once you say that,
I'm just curious.
Yep. Once he says, okay, that all makes sense. Awesome. Just curious, what about those terms do you think you don't like? Or is there anything about those terms you don't like?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. There's 20 different ways you could state the same question. Dealer's choice, bro.
Exactly.
Call him back and say that?
Call him back. I would call him back, lock in the appointment, because you were kind of cutting in and out.
He said 12:30 was good. He texted me.
Yeah, don't respond to the text, just call him, right? Because you want to know that, right? Like, you want to know if he has issues with it. Because if he doesn't have issues with it, and then they come back on Monday after he talks to his dad, then the person you have to get on board, the black swan, is the dad. And I would also confirm, hey, is your dad going to be available for that call?
Right.
Hey. Oh. I'll try Facebook Messenger from my phone. Turn to call ring. Oh, he's calling me. Hello.
Hey,
There we go. Working great. Okay. Hey, I'm just starting to put this together here. I just had a question. Is there anything on those terms that you don't like?
I'll just have to talk with my dad about it, just see what he thinks as well. That's why it would be helpful to just have it written down so I can kind of run through it with him.
Sure. Okay. Will he be available on Monday to talk with us?
He might be. I'll talk with him over the weekend for sure.
Okay.
But I'll check with him and see.
Okay, so I'll let me check back with you maybe tomorrow. Just shoot me a text and try to get all three of us on the phone together.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Alrighty. Text me your email so I have that.
Yep.
And I'll send a calendar appointment for 12:30. And if that still is good with your dad, we'll hold that. Otherwise, we can shift around accordingly.
All right, that sounds good.
Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, you text me your dad's email too, because he's got to be on this paperwork.
Oh, yep. I'll do that. Sounds good.
Sweet. All right. Appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you Monday.
All right.
Thanks.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Right. I know he doesn't have any other deals.
Got it.
That last time.
That was good. He sounds young. Do you know how old he is? Roughly?
You can look at the tax records.
That's true.
It'll say his age.
I don't know if it goes that deep in Muskegon County.
Fair.
Hey, so late 20s, early 30s, somewhere in there.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, dad's going to be the black swan. So I would anticipate some resistance to the terms a little bit, but yeah, you did a good job with regards to like prepping him to get his dad on the phone. And then also coming up with more of a reason to get his dad's email than just the calendar invite. I like that. So
Yeah,
good thing be there.
for what people
Yeah,
who are
that was
watching
like,
live
I'm
don't
just starting to
know
put
is
these
that
together on paper. What
we
don't
were-
you like?
we were chatting back and forth in the chat, and what we put in there was like, oh, make sure like for the calendar invite as a reason. But he just came up and he was like, nope, because he's going to be on the paperwork too, which is great and true. Because do you use PandaDoc or are you using like DocuSign?
PandaDoc.
Yeah,
Yep.
PandaDoc's the way to go.
Yeah, and for those of you who are not using PandaDoc, make sure you click the link in the description that we'll put there. PandaDoc's definitely better than DocuSign from a cost standpoint. The DocuSign for what you're going to pay, you're going to get like
Literally
5 to
free.
10 signatures a month. Like I've burned through those in one transaction before. PandaDoc, you get unlimited signatures, so you'll never have to worry about that, even on their base plan.
I just
Especially if
realized
you're
that
newer, because
drinking
you're
out
going
of
to
this
screw it
cup.
up. What's
This,
that, Andrew?
look at his cup.
What does it say? Hold on, speak. So you go up big.
Hello. Text. This guy.
Nice.
My team sent me this.
I like that screenshot just to put as the thumbnail for this particular,
Yeah.
like
there you go.
closing calls live, and you got this right here.
All right, that's
Nice.
good. That was one of the deals I wanted to talk about. Then my notes got eaten alive.
Well, the other deal was the deal that we wanted to talk about, that we were speaking about day before yesterday. I can't remember.
Yeah, so I have a question before we get into into that one. I have other properties with short-term debt. Some are vacant, some I can place long-term tenants. Some have current tenants. Is there
By
a
the way,
world where
Seth does own multiple other properties with his dad.
yeah, I know. He said he didn't want to sell.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Anyways. So that would be a situation like a buy and refi for you if that is a situation that interests you, because you did mention access to quite a bit of capital.
Which one is this?
So like, for example, I had a call with a guy today. He specializes in placing Section 8 tenants, and I pushed through some paperwork where we are going to get about $100 to $200 more a month in rent from Section 8 compared to market rent, and then the agency is going to pay every single month. So there's a lot of benefit there.
Yeah.
So on that property, I have a hard money loan on it that's coming due in the next, I don't know, however many months. So if you want, I can place the Section 8 tenant, get the high rents in there, secure that person on an annual lease. You're welcome to use private capital to buy out my private debt, and then structure it where you do a refi, or just buy it with conventional debt or DSCR debt. Those are the options to explore. So I wanted to know if that type of transaction interested you, because I can't do sub 2 because
Yeah, because hard money.
it's coming due.
So hard money note that's coming due in however many months. It's currently occupied, or you're working on getting it out?
Oh, I have 2 that currently are not occupied.
Got it. Okay. And then we'd have to refi.
You can either buy it outright. So I have hard money lenders that will do up to 80% of the purchase price buying it.
What's the purchase price?
Probably that like 140 to 150 range. So you could get, if it's 150, you get 120 loan, then you need 30 gap.
Are
And
we
re-
getting equity in the deal at close? Or are we buying it at market?
I'll work with you.
Okay.
The number's right. Like if we're just putting numbers out there to play with debt, say we put a purchase price of 160 and I carry back whatever.
That
Tap
sounds
into more debt.
sounds like a little Morby method right there. DSCR loan with a seller carry of 20%.
Just as long as I can pay off the loan.
How much is the loan?
I don't, on that one, maybe 110, 120.
110. So 110 divided by 0.8. So yeah, it sounds like a Morby method deal right there. You seller finance 20%.
Something
Give you
like that.
We'll cash up front, DSCR loan on the front end.
There you go.
Sounds good to me. What would the cash flow be in that scenario? What did you say the market rents would be?
1,400 on the market. Section 8 would probably be 1,600.
Okay, so we'll just split the difference, 1,500, 0.75. What does it need rehab or has it been
For,
renovated?
yep.
Okay. Let's see. Mortgage calculator.
Yeah, that one I just put 28 grand into it, so it was a heavier rehab.
So DSCR is probably going to be like 9.25 right now. So
So I have two like that right now. I have three like that right now.
it's a break even. Yeah, it's basically a break even at 1,500, at 1,600. It's still, yeah, it's like a $50 cash flow. It's like all tip top shape, like fully renovated.
$150,000 rental quality. You know, you're not getting bells and whistles.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Well, if we could do why are you selling it?
Same reason as I was talked about on Wednesday.
Got it. Just trying to get some cash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, and you said your loan is about 110. So, I mean, if we did a 160 purchase and we were able to get an 80% LTV with a DSCR, that would be a 128 loan. So you'd walk with like 18 grand. And then we do seller finance second,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which is only going to pay you like maybe $100 a month.
Make it silent.
What's that?
Make it silent.
I'm fine with silent seconds. I like silent seconds.
Too.
So
Give me a bunch of carrots at the end of a half a decade run.
yeah, there you go. 5-year silent second. Where is this at?
Also Dearborn Heights.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah, I picked up like 7 or 8 of them.
I don't know, Christian, what are your thoughts? Oh, what's the taxes and insurance on it? Actually, I didn't calculate that, so that might change things.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Everybody that is tuning in live on YouTube, just know he's closing sellers and then we're closing him as he sells these deals to us live.
1,500 for taxes. Yeah, so about 2,100.
2,100 total for taxes and insurance.
Sounds about right. Yeah, about $600 a year for insurance.
So that's 175. Yeah, even with a silent, that makes it like a $52 net cash flow if we can rent it for 1,600.
Same thing you were looking at with the other one though was low war chest, no management.
Yeah, I put 10% for war chest, and then yeah, if we do no management, then yeah, that gives us more room. But that's no money out of pocket for us. That's just straight DSCR, Christian. So like $0 entry fee, depreciation, little bit of cash flow, appreciating market.
I really appreciate appreciation. Hey, I tell you, what's the average? You said there was a 9% year over year, because I hadn't seen that with this particular deal last time we talked.
Well, this is a different deal, but he was saying 7%,
Same area.
10% year
It
over
is
year.
Dearborn
Yeah.
Heights.
Yep. Median home price 48125.
And depending on, so there's some DSCRs. Can't you do like a 40 DSCR where the first 10 years you're doing interest only, Christian?
I'm not the expert on that subject.
Got it. Yeah, I know there's a different DSCR loan out there that you can get a little bit better terms, so we can increase our cash flow early on and then just sell it later.
Median home price in the zip code is 192. 192? Yeah. 8 years ago it was 92. So at 92, a year later it went 102, 112, 124, 132, 139, 163, 185, 192.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like a deal to me. I mean, if it's, again, no money out of pocket. And we certainly need tax write-offs this year.
Why is that, Chris?
Because Brad is freaking doing a stellar job locking up deals.
And everybody wants to hear from Brad. Everybody loves Brad.
Brad's the silent second.
By the way, I did it. I did it. Here's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail for this.
You got to put a poop emoji.
That's funny. I told you I would. I'll take that screenshot. Put that
The worst. The worst.
You look great, man. You look great.
It's funny. Brad's probably making breakfast. It's time for
Well,
his over.
So thoughts as well was that if you buy it at 160, the basis is going to jump, so your tax number will increase. So
Not a deal.
with the other deal, we talked about putting it in a trust, but then at that point, it won't be an 80%; it'll be a 75%.
Yeah, so that was the
cash
thing.
out.
So what would be the benefit of putting it in a trust? Because if you put it in a trust, in a irrevocable trust, right? That's what we're talking about. Because obviously, irrevocable, no use.
Right. You don't need to put it in an irrevocable trust.
Okay, but we're gonna have to do a separate tax return for that, which is going to be added costs for that? What would be the benefit? I mean, it's a low enough price point where a little bit of a tax
I
basis
don't know
jump.
enough about that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have to do a separate tax return for a trust?
Yeah. I was talking to my accountant about it. He was like, yeah, you're gonna have to do a separate tax return. So that's gonna increase your costs there. He's like, what's the purchase price of the house? And I told him the other one that we were discussing the other day was around whatever it was, you know, in the $100,000 range. And he was like, yeah, it doesn't sound like it's gonna be worth it. He's
Does
like,
it
if it's
cost me a tax return?
Say it again.
If a trust is just a rental property.
Yeah, but there would have to be a separate one for that, and you'll get a K1 distribution from that trust.
I'm just going to look at my revocable living trust, and I'm going to see if there's anything in here that says, file taxes for me.
Don't bother. I talked to Sean.
Yeah, but I've also asked CPAs questions because I had questions about like how to pay myself a wage out of the S corporation. And I asked like 7 or 8 different CPA firms, and I got a different answer from every single one.
Well, anyway, I don't think it's gonna. I mean, how much more is the taxes going to go up?
I don't know.
Not a whole lot. So,
Somebody put in the comment section below, should we even worry about that? There's someone out there who's going to see this that knows exactly.
Right? We're just sitting here spinning our
I
wheels.
know.
yeah,
Just, hey, leverage them.
Brad, we were calling on you for a minute. And
I heard you in my left ear. My mother-in-law is here, and I was having a conversation.
Are you
with her,
deaf in your
and
right?
I went like this.
I know. We all love mother-in-laws, by the way. Every one of these men.
I love my mother-in-law. She's the best.
Married.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's
have a great
impossible
mother-in-law.
because my mother-in-law is the best.
My mother-in-law was watching the kids last night, so I could go watch.
All right, sounds like we need a showdown. Remember that show from the 80s where they did
No,
the
because
Gladiators?
I was not alive in the 80s.
I wasn't either.
Oh, okay.
So
Just
maybe it was
you
early
guys.
90s. American Gladiators, the guys
Yeah,
like
if you
taser,
watch the
laser.
documentary on Netflix about it, it's great.
Yeah, I haven't. What'd they say?
I watched like the first 10 minutes of the first episode, but it's basically like they became like national celebrities and
Yeah,
would go around and tour. Like it was like full throttle.
it was like a thing.
Yeah, like
Oh, that's
they'd travel, they'd party on the tour bus, they'd show up at a town, they'd like beat the crap out of contestants and go to the next town.
Sounds like an awesome life. Is this Netflix documentary out right now? I need to watch this.
Yeah, it came out a couple months ago.
Okay. I'm gonna go search it.
Oh gosh. How many more seller calls are we gonna make? We have like several people watching. They're like, what is this stuff about wrestling and beating the crap out of each other?
Trusts.
What
It's a parallel to
are we
what we're
supposed to be doing
on the
seller
phone
calls?
with sellers. Well, we were talking about some deals. He called somebody that we want that deal, and he brought it to us, and then we said, hey, let's just call him right now, live.
Mm.
We were going to do feedback Friday, but we were still reviewing the deal. So I was like, let's just go live and share the call live and then share the details live. So we did that. Now we were just talking about the deal itself because actually this is the second deal we're talking about. But we did have some questions though, and I want to address them because I want to be fair to everybody who actually asked the questions. And it was from just last Feedback Friday. They said, hey, what CRM are you using with Smarter Contact? Easy answer to that question. Shenganin, sorry if I mispronounced your name, is we're using Forefront CRM. I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's an awesome CRM. Smarter Contact is a good CRM as far as I've observed because you can make calls, send texts, all that outside of or inside of Smarter Contact. But because we've been using Forefront CRM, we're just sticking with that. But that's not to say Smarter Contact isn't actually a pretty good CRM because it actually is. So you could just use Smarter Contact. Or click the link in the description below to go to Forefront CRM. There weren't a lot of questions, guys, from last week, so
Right.
That's
Cool. I just
that's
sent
it.
in the Section 8 package for that property.
Perfect.
Tell us more.
That's all. Just wait.
Yeah, it's for the one that we already we just talked about. So
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how many deals are we looking at of yours? Three at this point, right? The one that you already have that we talked about earlier in the week, which we haven't revisited. I know Chris had some concerns about
Right.
the value of the silent second on that one.
I did. I said I'd
What
be
were,
bad cop.
what
Be
were
bad
the
cop all day.
concerns?
I don't want a silent second of $47,000.
Okay, Chris. Good cop. Go.
In fact, no, still bad cop here. In fact, I got off the call because I had another meeting to get on. By the way, there was a no-show. So I was sitting there listening to the live unlisted replay because this was the mastermind. And for everybody who wants to know, he's one of the mastermind students. He's also a friend, and you can join with the link below, find out more about it, or just go to reimadeeasyofficial.com. So anyway, when you guys were talking about that, I wasn't actually on the call, but I was seeing it live, streamed on the private YouTube channel. And then I messaged Chris right away and I said, 47K silence sucks for us.
That actually is verbatim what he's.
Yep. And he played good cop with me without you in the room. So let's hear your good cop.
As far as good cop goes, I like silent seconds. You know, I think we could probably come to a better number.
Yeah, here's the deal, dude. It's like, what do you actually need? And then we'll work from there because I understand you shared this with us already, but as far as you're live on YouTube right now, share as though we just broached this conversation
Yeah.
for the
So
first time.
I'm looking for liquidity. I've gone through several Burr deals in Metro Detroit, buying good deals in good areas where I want to own rental properties. For me, I with what I've picked up through the mastermind and the creative intensive we've been doing on Tuesday nights. Shout out. My zone of genius is number crunching and pounding numbers. And what I want to do is leverage these Burr assets to get liquid capital to then go out and start hunting portfolios, taking down 20, 30, 40 door portfolios with a little bit of cash to help me to do that.
Nice.
Awesome, man. So this particular deal, void of the address, Dearborn Heights. What was the purchase price again? I need the numbers in front of me to revisit this.
Yeah, I got the numbers right in front of me.
The tenant occupied one.
The $47,000 silent second one. That's this
Yeah.
one. You guys see the
I
screen?
already have
There you
long-term debt
go.
on it.
That's the one.
So this is a commercial loan that you just got, right? Like a month and a half ago at 6.75%. So guys, if you guys are doing a bunch of deals and you're looking for better interest rates than DSCR and everything else, commercial loans, they're
So
still,
talk to your local commercial lender. They're dying to lend money out right now.
yes, they are. Yes, they are. So $111,000, 20-year term, 5-year balloon, 6.75%, currently rented at $1,450. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, you wanted 20 grand up, 25. Oh, but then the closing cost would be 500 if you're transferring if you're just assigning the beneficial interest to the trust. If we weren't going to do that, what do you think closing costs would be, like 3 grand, 3,500?
The TC. Yeah.
Yeah. So self-managed, 8% for war chest with interest only to our lender on 28 grand, cash flow $130, silent second at the same 5-year term. And if the appreciation, so here's the numbers on the appreciation. If the appreciation, what's the purchase price on this? That would put it at
160.
So talk through also as you just breezed over the war chest. It's at 8% when normally we put it at 15. Why'd you put it at 8?
Yeah, because it's been renovated, right?
Yeah. It's fully
Right. By
renovated,
the way,
renovated,
remember,
certified
we're
with
live.
the city.
Right. We're
Yeah, fully
live. So
renovated. Yeah, fully renovated.
City
And
certified.
on a 10 month left on the lease, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so 8%, we'll set that aside, and we can self-manage a handful of properties. So if we do that, that'll leave us with 130 cash flow. We'll get our private lender paid. We'll get the tax write-offs, the depreciation, everything else. And then if we look at the appreciation of the property, by year 5, it should be worth about 185. At 3%, if it goes up closer to 7%, it'll be worth about 224. At the end of that 5-year term, if we only make the minimum payments, then we'll have a balance of 95. If we pay an extra 250 a month, the balance will be 80,000 for the loan. So we'll have 95 plus the $47,000 silent second, and then plus the $28,000 interest only would be 170. So that would leave us with $54,000 in equity, or if it only
Cash
appreciates,
flowing all along the way.
15% or 15 grand equity at the end of the deal, cash flowing the whole way, tax write-offs the whole way.
question. So that's 130,
Yep.
right? And that's 130. We're talking about 5 years. So that's $7,800 in cash flow over.
That's if we don't raise the rents, right? So if we go
Right. We already talked about rents are about 1,600 in the area.
So if we do an increase of 10% a year. Oops.
Got another question after this, by the way.
Then by year 5, we'll have raised the rents to somewhere between 2,100 and 2,300 bucks.
Now, for that area, Andrew, are you seeing that's consistent with your numbers? You still
With
have
what?
properties there, so are you going to be raising your rent in the same way for the other properties that are like for like? I mean, obviously they're not exactly the same, but
Yeah.
just the normal.
I follow the method of, it's either appreciation market or $50, kind of whatever is, or inflation market or $50, whatever's highest.
I'm curious as to, because I want to look at like this is kind of what I'm thinking. It's not that I'm opposed to rentals, but I know that I have this question. I came to you the other day and I said we want to buy as many rentals as we possibly can, obviously. But I'm curious when I look at the cash flow situation for this over 5 years, assuming we don't raise the rents, but even if we did, we have those numbers.
I would do fine.
No raising the rent
Chris.
is 7,800. What is the depreciation like? Like if we were to say that in an amount for
The
5
So-
years?
is 160 purchase price divided by 27.5 is $5,800 of a write-off every year.
And you can cost segregate that and accelerate your depreciation and get some bonus depreciation in there. And
If we don't, let's be conservative though, right? If we
Yeah.
don't, that basically at a 35% tax bracket, that equates to $170 a month in
depreciation
taxes.
benefit. Yeah.
Well, I do want to lower my tax basis.
Right.
So
Now about this $47,000 silent second.
did you say $37,000 silent second?
No, that's not what he said.
Yeah, the $27,000 silent second. I think we can do that. So,
The
yeah.
$57,000 silent second.
That's the so how flexible are you on that? Like what is really your bottom rock
That's
bottom?
the number I calculated.
And how did you arrive at that number?
Math.
You know, what is it that you really
That formula.
yeah, what's the formula? Good question.
I don't know. I did it 2 days ago.
Dude, I know.
You know how I chicken scratch math.
Okay, so you're saying it was chicken scratch. Well, let's then like
I know. It's like I don't want to say anything to you. That's my number.
That's fair.
Christian's gonna channel his what's the guy from American Idol? It's gonna be a no from me, dog. It's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Oh, Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson. There you go. Randy Jackson.
Or Simon, is that his name?
Simon Cowell. Yep.
Simon will just be like, what in the bloody F are you thinking?
Are you serious? What are you thinking?
You're terrible. You're so terrible.
Oh, do Gordon Ramsay. Like, I am an idiot sandwich. I am an idiot.
What do you
That
think?
meme is
You serve this to people? Give me your knives.
So, what are we thinking? What are we thinking on this one? Guys, put in the comments below or in the chat what you think Andrew's silent second should be. Should it be 27,000? Should it be
Or 57,000? This is not fair at all.
5,000.
Hey, everybody
Coin
who
flip.
follows this and watches on our
Coin
regular
flip.
basis,
Heads
give
is
this
20.
random guy in our YouTube live, and we're trying to negotiate him down. So let's get crowd mob rule.
We're crowdsourcing Andrew's silent second. Right, here we go. Andrew, are you a gambling man?
Not really.
Coin flip.
Coin
Heads is
flip.
20. Tails is 40.
Both of those I like better.
No chance. Coin
Blank side 40, and then this is 30. PM side 30.
Okay.
Oh, it's PM.
Oh, great. Wow, that accounted for 0.
Isn't that the way to negotiate? Everybody's learning so much here.
Yeah, here we are.
By the way, I had a question
How
about
about-
your shirt. 2010
I got
run
an
for the
idea.
house.
How about this? 40 at 5 years, 47 at 10 years.
You know, I really appreciate that suggestion. I like 47 at 10 years. Let's go.
You can do it.
About 47 at 5.
We're closer.
40,
The same thing.
about 45 at 7.
This isn't, guys. Just so for you watching, this isn't a how to negotiate at all. We're just
Yeah,
kidding.
this
I
is
just
not a
wanna
great
be clear
example.
about
No skill or tact being used here in this negotiation. This is
Yeah,
just
no. It's nothing. But yeah, just put in the comments what we should do, and then we'll move forward with it because Andrew said he'd agree to it. I think, right? It's in the recording. Oh man, yeah. We should take more of a deliberate look at this. I want to look at the numbers myself, and then make an assessment, and then actually get back to you with something that's reasonable.
Yeah.
We will not be concluding, and that's not to say that I'm hanging on a comment to make sure that we see what comes in.
Oh man.
Cool. What else we got for Feedback Friday?
Dude, we got nothing else, man. It's been
I have that one. I have 1, 2, 3 vacants, and then I have another one that's occupied, that I purchased subject to, and that's where I kind of cut my teeth and learned that, like, if it's subject to and it's not rent and ready, and you sure tie up a lot of money in that property, slapping each other for 3.5% interest rate.
Yeah, unless you're getting it for like 0 down, and the entry fee is just the
Did it.
costs.
For 0 down. But this
But
guy
did
was
you?
massively in arrears. So on a property that was probably worth at the time 120, I bought it for 80 sub 2, but it was 30K to catch him up.
Ooh.
And we literally like closed Wednesday at 4 o'clock, wired the money, and it got to the bank's attorney ahead of the 10 a.m. auction, and they would not extend the closing date or the auction date. So got it. The guy still lived there. Got lucky that he moved out eventually. It took him like 4 weeks longer than what he was anticipating. So I was holding it for that time period. Then I had to clean it up after he moved out. And finally placed a tenant in there, and tenant paid the first 2 months and didn't pay the next month.
The woes of rentals.
So it's valued really well. I did good work. Kind of thinking of just like get the tenant out and list it,
Yeah.
because the mortgage is 80. It's probably worth 180.
We could give you a guaranteed cash number, and then leverage our multi-tiered marketing approach.
Okay.
Party buyer.
How about we just partner on it and stop trying to squeeze me?
I like the partner idea, man. I do.
Just need off my plate so I can stop worrying about it. Get all my
Let's
money back
gang
out
up.
of it. Yeah, realistically, I probably tied up 55 grand in that property, that one single family.
Yep. That's why I'm only doing sub 2s on rent ready properties.
Hey, Andrew, I'm curious, for all of those properties you shared with us, I don't remember exactly how many there were. How much are you looking to actually walk away with if you were to sell them? What's like your number?
Oh,
want?
like the number that I would love is like 300 grand.
Okay, okay, maybe that's great. Maybe that'll work. But like, what would the lowest number be that you would accept for all of those at once?
Cash back to me, like 200 grand.
Right. If it was just cash right away. That's a pretty significant reduction. Why the $100,000 gap?
Because I know what I need to pay off, and it's worth it.
And that's totally fine. You say it's worth what? 200 or 300?
Worth the 200 to
Okay.
pay off all the debt I have on the properties, then take 200 grand and go. If 200 grand's 5 or 10% down on a portfolio, you're talking $4 million worth of a single family portfolio I could take down in creative terms in Metro Detroit. I know people who have access to portfolios like that, where you're talking, 100 to 150,000 a door. That's 20, 30, 40 doors potentially.
Right.
There's a huge opportunity where Metro Detroit, Detroit's super unique, but probably a lot like other markets too. The Detroit proper is high cash flow, low appreciation, literally block by block. And then this whole band of cities outside of the city of Detroit have houses valued between like 80 and like 150K for the most part. And that's the sweet spot I've always kind of operated in, because you don't get as high cash flow because the properties are worth more, but you get much more appreciation. So, like I said, in Dearborn Heights, over the last decade, properties have more than doubled in value.
Yeah.
So
So I have a question for you. Emmanuel Jimenez said, "How does silent seconds work?" We'll talk about that in a minute. My question for you is, so if you're looking for like the bottom at 200K cash so that you can redeploy to, you said 30, 40 different rentals. Is that what you're saying? Um, why don't we just get together on that, and then, we can make it happen, negotiate terms, and then go partner on the rentals, especially because right now the rentals you currently have, you're saying that these are currently a headache for you. So what's going to be any different about 30 or 40 additional rentals that won't be a headache for you in your
I'm like right in the middle of changing management companies because the first one really dropped the ball. So like this is kind of like my highest motivated point I've been in a really long time.
And what are you hoping to gain with those 30 or 40? Let's just put a number to it. 30 specific rental properties. The 200K can get you the upfront terms cash that you would need collectively for all of them in theory. So what are you looking to cash flow every single month when you hit that goal of 20 to 30 or 30 to 40, you said?
Typically ends up being something like 100 to 200 bucks a door. So realistically, if it's 200 grand, and go get 20 doors, it's 2 to 4,000 a month in net cash flow.
Right. So let's call it $3,000 a month. So really your goal is if you could get 3,000 in the middle, right? $3,000 of cash flow, obviously tied to real estate and an asset or a collection of assets in a portfolio every single month. And we could arrange a situation where we're helping you do that. Then the 200K doesn't necessarily matter as much. It's just the end result of having that cash flow. Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So what I'm really hearing is you're actually pretty flexible on that number, provided that you're able to get that cash flow, $3,000 a month. This is the point where we can actually look a little bit deeper if you're interested in working together, because if we can create a situation where we're doing some sort of split, we come to the table with a more significant amount of money. Remember, we're going to be debt servicing, but we have favorable terms with the lending opportunities that we're giving those who are investing in our business, and pass that along to you in a joint venture scenario where we're actually working together on acquiring these rentals to cash flow. Assuming that we were in a joint venture situation and we were able to, help close the deal when needed, help negotiate terms when needed, also identify specific opportunities. But for you in the market, you're going to be doing that part of the work. What percentage of that 3,000 would you want?
It's a bigger, whatever you call it, analysis of that. So for me, across the board, I'm trying to get to 20,000 a month passive income. That's the bigger target.
Right.
And I just see these as an opportunity to go stepstone there. So if you're talking about like legitimately looking at the bigger picture, that's where I just need to be happy. I don't care if it takes 40, 100, 200 doors, whatever.
Right. So the end result you're actually looking for is 20K, but more immediately you're talking about the 200K to put to work to get a specific amount of doors to get anywhere from 2 to 4,000
Yeah.
and just net
And
a bill.
realistically, I'm liquidating doors to go get more doors. So
Right. And that's what I was, I mean, obviously that's what I was noticing because I'm saying like,
Right.
okay, cool. You're going to take the rentals off of your plate because right now these particular ones are a headache and it sounds like the property management company is the real issue.
mhm.
I'm just curious, in a world where you could find a property management company that solved that issue, would you change your mind about even selling these properties?
I think I have a property manager that can solve these issues.
Right.
Pretty confident about that. I think the headache for me is the holdup with, you know, now I got to go through the paperwork and the exhaustion of refinancing multiple properties and putting that all together and logging through paperwork. And I really want to spend my time focusing on closing deals, doing more deals. So if I can avoid that headache and do a quick, clean transaction, that'll get me some cash now, and I don't have to go through the headache of refinancing the property. Then sweet.
Gotcha. So the exchange really is like you have the commercial loan on all of these properties
Mhm.
that you've already refinanced at 6.75%, right?
Just on that single family, that one property.
Okay. But you really want to get deals that are like 100% either seller financing or subject to with favorable original loan terms. Is that right?
Yeah.
What's so when you do your search, online or when you're marketing, because I know you're using SMS marketing with Creative REI Reply when it works, and then um, you're also doing the on market offer system. Are you finding a lot of opportunities with low interest rates on them already to do subject to, or are they pretty ridiculous?
I
I
don't
mean,
think
your
I
price point's lower than ours.
Yeah. No, like I'm thinking of, the creative off market stuff is really only where those opportunities are showing up. We're not really getting a ton of creative opportunities with realtors on the market. So, the calls are trickling in, really for kind of situations that are presenting themselves. Pretty much lease options and slot deals are the main exit strategies that I've been pushing, just based on what people want for their properties and what they think it's worth. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, if you really want that much, just keep it and make more.
Right. But a slot deal won't really get you to your goal of passive 20K a month.
No, but it's the active pipeline.
Gotcha. Yeah, active pipeline's
Pays
great, but
the
it can
bills.
funnel what's that?
Pays the bills.
Right. This slot deal will pay the bills this month. Possibly next month. I mean, you could get some good deals on slot deals, but my question though, I guess, is like seeing that you're looking for 20 doors ostensibly, 20 to 30 doors is what you said. Okay, Chris. Chris
I
said
gotta,
he's
I
gonna
gotta
hop
hop
off.
off. I got a call coming up here in a minute.
Yeah, so does Brad. And then I have a call after Brad. That's totally cool though.
I do
I'm
too.
excited.
By the way, to answer Emmanuel's question, how does a silent second work? A silent second is a second position note. Could be a third position note, depending on the situation. Basically, it's not a first position note. So second, third, fourth. Technically, a silent second would be a second position note. Silent third position, so forth. But it's zero interest, zero payments. So it's just a one lump sum at a future date. And that date can be whatever you would like it to be. And in Andrew's case, he would like it to be a 10-year silent second.
Here you go again, putting words in my mouth.
There's a lot of room to fit him with that
Well,
wonderful smile.
I arrived at 10 with that chicken scratch math that I was doing.
Right. Yeah, the chicken scratch math.
Yep,
It said 5 times 2, so
brutal.
That is a good
or was
question.
that or was that supposed to just say 5-year second?
No, I
Yeah.
think it was supposed to say the 4 and 7. It was 40K in 7 years. What it was. Which actually is not bad. Well, but we'll do some actual math, not napkin math. The reason I'm asking all these questions is because obviously since we've been working together for I don't know, 2 years, something like that.
3
Like
years.
Coming up on 3 full years.
Yeah. Is because you've been aggressively looking for rental opportunities to hit a specific goal for monthly passive cash flow every single month. And I mean, we've been crushing wholesale deals and we've been doing some light rehabs and stuff. But all that active income is what have you done for me lately? And we've really been trying to get a lot more passive income opportunities too to lock up, but we haven't been aggressively doing it. So I think it'd be great as we look into getting partners who are looking to be equity partners on the lending side to just not a silent second necessarily, but something that's pretty dang close to it as far as interest and payments are due. When you're talking about Dearborn Heights and you're confident in the appreciation of that market, we'll do a little more research in it just to come to more conservative numbers. But that's really attractive to me and it's really attractive to Chris. We haven't been investing in that area, obviously rentals in Florida and San Diego and stuff like that, but we're looking to increase that. So your boots on the ground, so to speak. I mean, Traverse City, but the market really
My
well.
backyard.
Usually.
Yeah, I know mathematically speaking, my parents moved when I was 5 years old from their old house to their current house they lived in, and they bought their original house before I was born for like 70 grand. And they sold it for 108 5 years later, and they bought their current house for 120, and it's worth about 450 right now on a 25-year run. So they're in suburbia, 12 miles out of the city of Detroit. And that's why I like that sweet spot in between the two, because you don't have, their house could rent for like $2,500 a month. So you're not going to cash flow. You're not going to cover debt. It's just a homeowner area. So you find that happy medium in between where there's a lot of rental activity. You're getting higher appreciation, you're getting lower crime rates, everything like that. With the cash flow that justifies a good deal. And we're buying and underwriting things at 8, 9, 10% now. In 12 to 24 months when rates go down, we all are running to the banks to refi out. The gold rush of the refi era. Something that's $150 a month cash flow today becomes 250, 300 when that refi happens.
Notwithstanding rental rate increases.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know
depreciation.
I picked up a portfolio and spurred it in about 9 months, and it was 5 duplexes, and we ended up getting an over $1 million loan on the refi, and I'm at 8%. And I know that as soon as I get past November of this year, if I have rates that hit the 5% mark, I'm going to pay the 2-point penalty and refi because it's going to save me about $2,000 a month in interest.
Yeah.
So it'll cost me 20 grand to refi, but year one, I'm going to save 24,000 just on interest. So
yeah, there you go. That makes total sense. That is a great strategy. I mean, I don't know about 8%. That's crazy. I mean, we are not we haven't actually done the portfolio loans. We haven't done the the whole things because we hadn't really been focused on a bunch of rentals. Mostly just people that were coaching are doing the I want rentals. How do you get them creatively? Well, let's show you how, but we're turning them into cash, putting the money in our pocket like we're in our 20s, but we're not in our 20s. Nobody here is. So yeah, let's do some more. Let's have some more talks around this. It's 11:15-ish here.
Yeah,
I know.
I gotta eat and get ready for my call.
All right, guys.
Powered through. And then I
If you
gotta
guys
pick my
have any
son
questions
up
about
from
anything we talked
school.
about out there in YouTube land, let us know. You can connect with Andrew. If you want to sell him a house, Andrew.
Phone numbers right here.
Mitten Property Solutions, phone number 248-229-0544. Don't prank call him. He is on the East Coast, so keep in mind he only stays up till 1 o'clock in the morning. So
My
don't call him
phone's
after.
on. Do not disturb. You won't bother me.
Yeah, don't call him after 1
And you should also text me because if I don't have your number saved in my phone, it goes straight to voicemail.
That's a good point.
There you go.
Good point. But where are you buying deals though? Not just Michigan, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. So just say where you're buying deals.
Acquiring all over the state of Michigan for sure. Illinois, Ohio. I like Missouri a ton. And then we're putting deals together kind of in those markets and then in the South too, Southeast. I really, something that you don't see in a snowy state that you do see in southern states is population growth and migration. So Detroit's a very stable market. The population pretty much just kind of stays the same year after year after year. You jump into like a Jacksonville or a Tampa or something like that really quickly, you realize that like, every year people who are coming here continue to grow. So I like opportunities like that.
Nice. But you're not really buying over here, right?
Guys, I'll see you.
Right. Goodbye.
See ya. Yeah, we're all gonna dip. But okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
As you know, got his number. Don't call him, text him, and hit us up if you guys need help closing your deals. We do priority closing support for our mastermind students, of which Andrew is one, and then
Save me
dispo
20
support.
grand.
Yeah,
Good
on
deal. Save
one
me
deal.
20 grand. Yep. You can go watch that one on YouTube.
It is, yeah. And Chris just called him up. We recorded it, put it out there. It's fun times, man. And also we'll do underwriting support as a priority. We don't do public underwriting support because everybody's going to send us their deals not knowing what it is. So if you do need help with underwriting, we're your dudes, but it's when you join. So check out that as well if you guys are interested. And we'll see you. Check all these links in the description below. But thanks so much, guys, and have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next time as we continue to make real estate investing. What do we make it?
Easy.
That's what's up. See ya. Bye, Silent Brad. He's our silent third.
Bye.